Wilson's got to start in game one. Big afternoon for him. Into the lineup for his first game of AFL football. 2013 is alive again. And this game has been phenomenal.
Magnificent win, guys. That is a magnificent win. Brave St Kilda, but West Coast Eagles beautifully called, Dwayne. I'm lost for words, Jared.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with my first game, so still got a fair bit to work on. But yeah, hopefully that'll come later on. So yeah, still work on my game.
You looked comfortable, you used the ball well, and you backed yourself, you ran off. All those things that in the first game you'd hope someone could do, and you pulled it off. So you feel like you're comfortable at that level?
Yeah, I felt pretty comfortable. So I played a couple of NAB Cup games before, so I sort of had a little bit of a feel. Obviously, intensity still a little bit more in the AFL game, probably one. But yeah, felt pretty comfortable out there. Felt good, so it was good. Still blew up a fair bit, but that'll come later on.
Can you take us through that revolt situation there? It looked like you thought, oh no, it's gone, and then you saw him fumble, and you said, right, I'm going for it, and in the end you saved the day.
Yeah, so yeah, I was pretty knackered at the time, and he sort of come from behind me, and I just got a quick glimpse of him, so I thought I'd better go and try, and he sort of fumbled it and whatnot, so I just tried to put my body on it and got lucky enough to touch it, so yeah, I was pretty happy with it.
Did you look back at it?
No, I haven't seen it yet, so probably go through my game later on in the week, or the Savo with Tegi, and yeah, we'll see what we've got to work on.
What about the drama of the match? Not a bad game to come in and play your first one.
Yeah, it was actually, it was an awesome feeling to get the win. It was really tight, so I was on the bench in the last couple of minutes, so I was just hoping we win. As soon as Easy kicked that goal, I was stoked, so yeah, it was an awesome feeling.
And Eric's goal, as a backman, you must have appreciated that, being how good that win the match defender.
Yeah, it was awesome. He's been really working on his offensive run in the last few months, so it's really coming off well, and he's lucky enough to kick a couple of goals, so yeah, he was awesome on the weekend.
Now, early on in your career, when you were playing under 18s, I think the boys were telling me, was there a Colts game where you played on Nat Fife and he might have got on top of you at one stage there?
Yeah, Colts grand final, I think it was. He kicked a fair few goals on me, so yeah, try to forget about that one.
You've had some trials and tribulations injury-wise that sort of probably stalled your progression. When you ran out on the ground yesterday, how did you feel? Did you think about what you've been through over the last couple of years?
Not really. I sort of ran out to the ground, had a look around at the crowd and just tried to take it all in, and then just focus on the job really, and just just put it all behind me, and just another step forward in my game. So yeah, I just thought of put it all behind me.
You touched on it before. How big was the step up in your mind?
Yeah, it was a fair bit. Yeah, it was pretty big. The main one was probably just the intensity, obviously the quick ball movement and whatnot like that was probably the main one from waffle footy. In waffle footy, it's probably not as intense and quick. So that was probably the main one I found. But structure-wise, I thought it was probably easier to find the footy. Like to know the boys' game plan and where to find the footy and where to run was probably a lot easier.
What about watching someone like Revolt up close and seeing how hard he works both up and back? Did that leave any impression on you?
Not really. I played them in the NAB Cup, so I've seen Revolt play before, and I've watched vision of him before, so I knew how hard he worked. So I didn't. Yeah.
It's funny though when you won out with them though, isn't it? In your first game, you won out with Revolt, you won out with, you're on Milne or whoever it is, Meister, whoever it is, and you're in your first game and you think, jeez, there's not much help around you.
Yeah, I try not to. I just think about just trying to get the ball to the ground and just trying to win the footy. I don't really look at them as if they're any better than me, or well, they probably are, but I try not to think that. I just try and get the job done and just go from there.
When you talk the step up from waffle to AFL, what about from NAB Cup to the AFL? Was that a noticeable difference?
Yeah, again, the intensity's lifted more than the normal rounds. So yeah, it was a bit of a lift up.
Your first couple of kicks as well, as Barra mentioned, you hit your target pretty well, and even the commentators were halfway through the game were commenting on how great percentage your kicking was. Is it relief to get the first few on the chest and see your midfielders running?
Yeah, that was that was the main one. I just wanted to focus on hitting my first targets and getting a bit of confidence within myself to know that I can hit the targets and get the footy in my hands. So yeah, it was a relief to hit the first couple of targets. I think I butchered a couple late. Milne got that goal when I kicked it to him out of full back. So, but yeah, it was good to hit a few targets, and I still stuffed off a few as well.
Blayne, do you think you've done enough to hold your spot for the Hawks in a couple of weeks?
Oh, we've got a few good players coming back, so it's not really in my control, but I'll put my best foot forward, so I've done the best that I can. But yeah, we've got pretty good players coming back, like Glassy and Bowie, Scully, so a few good backmen, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
What's your best role? Is it playing on, say, the third tall, or is that sort of the best spot for you? Or?
Yeah, I probably see myself playing on the third tallish. I like to think I can play small as well. That bit of flexible, so yeah, doesn't really bother me, to be honest, but yeah, leave the key forwards up to Easy and Glassy.